Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. We have some Farmasi on deck today, and it is a top leader, a few top leaders, I believe, that we have not yet reacted to. And we're gonna get right the fuck into it. But first, we need the disclaimer. If you're not familiar with Farmasi, they are what is called an MLM, also known as a multi-level marketing company, network marketing company, social selling company, party plan company. Some would even refer to this type of business model as a pyramid scheme. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, that is just getting a little... Oh, I had to change it up, I think.
I'm glad you said it first.
Anyway, the reason that people sometimes think of these types of businesses as a pyramid scheme is because they do run off of a recruitment-based business model, meaning the more people they recruit onto their team, the more money they make. These types of businesses do also sell products, in my opinion, to get you wrapped into the MLM before you even join. The products that Farmasi sells are skincare, makeup, and of course, health and wellness. Because what's an MLM without a little bit of health and wellness? Oh, and of course, the self-improvement. Anyway, I found this top leader because she was posting her take on the anti-MLM community. We're going to watch that first. And before we get into it, I want to say one thing. This is an individual who is recommending makeup, shades, and looks to others. Let's go.
So I believe that people that make anti-MLM content are hypocrites. Hear me out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then this doesn't apply to you. And I don't even know if I'm going to post it or not, but I have a little vent around it all. So there is groups, anti-MLM content creators. They have YouTube channels, TikTok, all other platforms, Reddit, and all of that. And their whole platform is on educating people on multi-level marketing, the business model. They call it unethical. They call it a cult. And that's their whole platform, is educating people. That is literally what they do.
I would like to say, as a member, I see myself as a member of the anti-MLM community who does create content.
Oh, is that what this is?
It is not purely out of education for me. I like to entertain people. And this is a topic that people are ready to listen to facts about. I also like to research. So when I combine the two of those together, anti-MLM is perfect for me.
It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
And that goes for a lot of other people who have been successful in the anti-MLM space. We're not just trying to educate all the time. We need to also entertain, or else they wouldn't be watching and you wouldn't even know we exist.
And because that is an industry that has changed my life, and I'm a leader, I have, not as much as some have been targeted before, but I educate myself on those platforms just because I'm a nosy woman. And
have you educated yourself on lipstick application?
Oh, no, she didn't go there.
So this is where I get my bold statement on why I truly feel like they are hypocritical. And this is after watching several videos over the years. And they usually grab screen recordings, they go on different Zoom calls and stuff like that. And their biggest thing is to educate
and entertain.
I am the talent, Dennis.
And they say that typically if you are a leader like my position, you are manipulating, and there's a lot of strong language. I don't have to list it all, okay? But here's the thing. When I was on a lot of these YouTube channels and I checked out several, a lot of them have a whole crowd of people that watch the videos. They wait for them to upload. They always have paid sponsorship. So they are making money doing this, right? They're making money. Some of them even have affiliate codes.
Why wouldn't we get paid for the work that we do? You realize this is a full-time job, right? If you're seeing somebody who is consistently posting YouTube videos and they are produced and they are well researched and they contain receipts and polished editing, it is a full-time job.
A legitimate one.
So yes, we get paid for what we do.
And they spend the whole time, maybe putting on the lip gloss, and then at the end they share their affiliate link. So the people that are watching, waiting for this information, it is almost like a cult, like they call us, waiting for this information from this person at the top to give to them.
There is a difference between a cult and a cult. Like there is a cult-like following. Look at things like Peloton. You have Fortnite. I'm a Fortnite player. There is a cult around Fortnite. However, there's no cult-like behavior. It's just the word that we use because group of people sounds really stupid. So it is a cult-like following, but there's no real cult-like behavior like we're doing here with information control in this cult-like business called Farmasi.
So then these little people go and they go to that person's video and they go to this person's video. And why I feel like that's hypocritical is because that is similar to what you accuse the multi-level marketing structure to do.
Gaining a following? We accuse you of gaining a following? Okay, here's the thing. If you gain a following, if you are somebody who has a personality and you have people who want to follow you and listen to you, you should take that as a very large responsibility. Having a platform where people listen to you is a responsibility. And if anybody has a platform and decides to join an MLM to monetize that platform that they are responsible for, they should automatically, in my opinion, lose all credibility and all of their following because they are only in it for the money. There is no reason, again, in my opinion, that any influencer or anybody with a following would ever join an MLM and start to promote it to their audience.
It's greed and nothing else.
I know that they're whatever, like you're not technically recruiting anyone. I honestly feel like it's worse because you have people spending hours watching your videos and then doing this work, educating other people, and they're not making any money.
Do you not listen to podcasts at all? Do you not listen to music? You don't do anything while you're doing stuff? You don't have sound on in the background at all? Do you really think that people are sitting there and watching our videos from start to finish every time?
No, they are not.
People listen to this content because it's full of researched information with receipts. So they can listen. They don't have to sit there and watch and eat bonbons. If you are, more power to you. We have to have days like that sometimes, but we're not just sitting around watching videos. These people are also working. They're just listening as they're doing things. People like to have sound in their ears all the time. Don't just automatically look at a YouTube audience and say,
oh, they're wasting their time by watching videos.
It's far from the truth.
At least us, like you guys would say, 99% of people lose money or very small amount of people make money.
Because there are facts and receipts and research to prove that. What the fuck? What is this video? What is this about? Those lips, though.
Say hello to the stars of the show.
I mean, at least that's a percentage. No one that's watching your video is making money. You are though, right? You're making money.
Because it's my job.
You've got the sponsorships.
I don't have any. I haven't had a sponsorship in months, but I still get paid because it's my job. Like, do you think that Cardi B shouldn't be getting paid for her music she's creating? Do you think that Mr. Beast shouldn't get paid anymore for his content? What do you think content creation entails?
Got the ads, you've got your affiliate links, but you're educating, right? You're educating on a whole group of other people that are making income in a certain way. And let me just tell you this.
In a scammy, slimy, manipulative way. I am openly telling you that I am getting paid for views and not charging you a dime at all. But somehow that is more shady than an MLM. All right, cool.
I believe I'm an ethical person. I used to not be. I used to be a drug addict. I had 7 felony convictions. I tried to change my life.
And now, here's the problem. This individual now uses that story and ties it into her MLM to make it look like Farmasi has changed her life and made it all rainbows and unicorn farts and butterflies. That's not how it's going to work for most people that join her team.
And no one would give me a chance. The only way I was able to change my life was through network marketing, social selling, MLM, that cult. And I have watched a lot of people change their lives.
But what happens when this community goes away? I'm scared for those people who she's roping in who also have had a similar journey, maybe have a past with addiction, they have been in prison, whatever it is. This isn't the way to better yourself. Going out to get an actual job, educating people on how you got to where you were and why you shouldn't be doing those things. Those things change your life. This was a fast track to make you money so you can stop doing those things, which is great. Okay, you stop doing those things. I'm happy for you. However, this is just a band-aid. I don't see this as a long-term solution to your felonies and your addictions.
Whoa, that's a little harsh.
I'm sorry. That's the fucking truth, okay?
I would like to even challenge some of these people that make these channels. They're clear vendettas. Either they were in the industry and it didn't work for them, or someone that they care about, that's the case. And that is the case anywhere someone has a big dream. People don't, want to become NFL football stars. People want to become basketball. They want to become celebrities. They want to become influencers. But only the top 1% do make it to that level. There are people that invest a lot of money trying to reach that level. That is the case in any business structure, especially when there's a big difference of a big dream. But I was a person. Like, I didn't have any type of following.
You weren't a dragon? That's the first thing that came to mind. I'm reading Fourth Wing. So dragons all day long, every day.
At all, skill, education. And so I'm going to applaud you for making your dollar bill, I guess, if that's the best way. But coming out acting like you're so much better than is just hypocritical to me.
I'm not somebody who tries to pretend I'm better than anybody, that's for sure. So pretty confident she's not talking about me. If that ever comes across, I promise you that's not what I'm trying to do. I, in fact, make fun of myself more than I will ever make fun of the subjects in my video. And most days I do it publicly.
Because I see the communities, just like you guys have sleuths. We also do, you change your Zoom code, go into the Zooms and stuff. You have the people that are sucked into the anti-MLM cult, they're not making any money at all. They're just wasting time watching your content. At least we have a promise where you can make some income and get some product, right?
This 4-minute video they didn't get paid for. Like, this is entertainment. This is what people do. It doesn't always have to be an income producing activity. And if you are sitting here and watching YouTube, good for you. I do the same thing every day. But a lot of times I'm also doing other things and just listening. But being somebody who does enjoy sitting down and watching a YouTube video daily, weekly, however often you do it, doesn't make you a lazy person or a bad person or less than this individual.
That's just it. And so whatever, I'm just putting it out there for my network that knows I've been a target before. And that's just my own hot take on it all. And you do you, and I'll do me, and I guess we'll just all be okay. But I just find it incredibly hypocritical. That's it. And I mean, we all make mistakes, I guess, and keep on doing you. I mean, I know it's hard to get a monetized YouTube channel, and y'all did it. And I'm so proud of you because I don't even have that. So keep it up.
I will. And with that, this individual does put on regular trainings for her group, and we are going to go ahead and watch one.
Hello. I am so excited for our Leader Hub call this month. It's January 20th, 2026. Oh my gosh, that feels weird saying it.
Why didn't she look like that on the video? Like, what were you doing? Don't do that again. That will scare people away. Okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I probably have lipstick on my teeth while I said that. So it's fine, guys.
You really are a mess.
See, I am not better than a damn soul.
So if you are watching this call, that means you are 18% and up and a leader on this team. And we are so proud of you for either making it live or watching the replay. And I'm really, really excited about this, you guys. This is not my call. I'm passing it over, but I want to tell you a little bit. So we have a guest here, and this is someone that I watched when I was just a baby network marketer, had no idea what I was doing. And I was like Googling different things, and I kept seeing Amber Ray Voigt, and I would saw Eric Worre and GoPro. And so I would watch these trainings.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That's who we're listening to? Somebody who's associated with him? Barf.
This rock star, and I really resonated with her story. And she was at a company that she was like #1 in. Her team was like 500,000 people. Like, think of that. This is before I even enrolled one person. And I just felt like she was so real. And I love watching the community. And so over time, you guys know I'm nosy, and I'm just following different people. And then I see everyone in my chats. Amber Ray is leaving her company. Everyone's saying, but she's not saying where she's going. So everyone's watching. And I remember, and I'm not even with that company, but everyone wanted to know. And she picked Farmasi. And honestly, everyone, I remember my leaders well, why would she, pick Farmasi? And that made me look even more what's going on here. But I say all that to say she is an example of why I want her doing the Leader Hub call tonight. Is she's an example of a leader that I look up to, someone that I feel she does the work. She shows up, but also is it a great example? That's how she leads, and the culture that she's created of welcoming everyone here. And I feel like I have learned a lot from her. I still have a lot to learn. And so I'm really, really excited. She joined Farmasi, I want to say around 2 years ago. You can correct me. And Diamond Director. But, what's really cool is she gets recognized for personal sales. And so if that doesn't tell you that she's one of the top leaders in the company, but still working her personal business, that stands out to me in such a big way. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over, mute it myself, and we're going to give the floor to Amber.
Hey guys, hello. I am so excited to talk to you. First, I gotta say, Brittany came into our team, did one of the best trainings that we have ever seen. You guys, you have a force of a leader. So
guys, these people are selling makeup. They are selling makeup. Again, I am not better than anybody else. My makeup is never perfect. It has never been perfect. It will never be perfect. However, there are guidelines. And also, I'm not selling makeup. So there's that.
Do what she does and you'll have what she has. So that's kind of what I want to, before I tell you a little bit about who I am, I want to do a little exercise with you because as you were talking, I'm like, this is a great example. So I see all of your faces. You have to participate, okay? I want you, and I invited some of my team, so you guys already know this, but I want you to touch your cheek. Touch your cheek, you guys.
Not that cheek.
Oh, Brittany's team's smart. Got some of them though. Got some of you. Some of you. This team is smart. Okay, nobody has ever touched their cheeks. Everyone always touches their chin. So you got some smart girls, Brittany. But it's true. Like when I do that on stage, everyone's touching their chin because people do what you do, not what you say, right?
That was a scary exercise then. It just showed you how easily people can be manipulated, not how great of a business this is.
So if I want people selling, I better be selling. I don't care how high up you are. I don't care if you are boss, director, star, mega boss. Like, don't care. You have to be doing what your team's doing. You don't just say, hey, do this, do this, do this. You're doing it with them. You're out there recruiting too. You're out there selling too. You're out there doing the actions you're telling them to do, right? So
you told them to touch their cheek and you touched your chin. None of this goes together.
I know that's how Brittany leads. That's how I lead. That's how the leaders not within my team. And I know your team too, because we attract people like we are, right? So I want to give you guys a big applaud because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. I've been in this profession a really long time, you guys, a really long time. So I'm going to start with that, actually.
I was sitting there thinking, why is she touching her chin after she said, everybody touch your cheek and did this? Would you touch your chin or would you do the same thing and be like, why is she touching her chin? It's just confusing. I'm still confused as to what we're doing here.
So my name is Amber, and I've been in network marketing for almost 24 years now. So longer than my oldest child has been alive. My oldest child is 23, and I started a year before he was born. So the reason I got into network marketing is I came from a really bad home, like a really bad home. My parents were drug addicts. We lived in homeless shelters or sometimes even in our car, sometimes even on the street.
A lot of times you'll see this in teams, in MLMs. Different teams will have different vulnerabilities. So addictions, incarcerations, if those apply, military wives and husbands or spouses, single parents, stay-at-home moms. They'll all be in like different clumps. If you pay attention to their stories, they'll all have similar stories, similar vulnerabilities that got them roped into joining the MLM. So in this case, it's looking like it was addiction, maybe incarceration. I was part of teams that were stay-at-home moms and people trying to leave their jobs. It was all very similar. Like we wanted to be the ones getting our kids on and off the bus or homeschooling or whatever it was. That was what my teams were in each MLM that I joined. It's definitely interesting to see that they have this commonality between the two of them.
I used to have to go and get my lunch. My dad would lower me down into garbage cans, and that's how we would eat.
That's really sad. Also, I'm sorry that she had to go through that. I'm sorry that anybody has to go through that. I don't believe anybody should have to go through that. However, I also don't believe that it should lead you to manipulate people into thinking this business is a good idea. We've all been through hard times. It doesn't give us an excuse to push problematic businesses and business practices onto other unassuming people.
I grew up very fast because of that. And my parents did not grow up fast at all. I was more like their parent. They would start bringing home weird people from the bar. My mom would tell everyone, you got to come see my daughter. I was like 15. And they're like, you got to come see my daughter. She looks just like Pamela Anderson. I don't look anything like Pamela Anderson, by the way.
Well, I mean, you kind of do.
She kind of does look like Pamela Anderson.
But that was the environment I was in. I had to fight grown men off of me. Like, I did not want to live that life. I did not want to follow that line. I hated it. I hated it. I hated my life. I hated that was my reality.
Oh, I get that.
So I actually dropped out of school in 9th grade. And I wanted just to be on my own.
I see what she's saying. And Girl, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Shitty. Very shitty.
I wanted to be on my own. I didn't want to be in that environment anymore. And so I dropped out in ninth grade and I lied my age. I was 16, almost 17 at the time when I joined network marketing. I said I was 18. I lied. I wasn't 18.
She wasn't even of legal age to join the MLM, yet she's been in it since then. She doesn't know any different to not be in an MLM. That's terrifying.
I had my first son shortly after that, and I've been on my own ever since. Ever since ninth grade, I've been on my own. So obviously I didn't have an education, right? I worked dead-end jobs. The best job I ever had, I was making $12 an hour. And to me, I was a millionaire. Like, that was a lot of money to me as a retail store manager. And I did that for a long time, along with my network marketing business. Okay. But I knew how am I ever going to make the money that I want to make for my family? How I'm never going to be able to do this. And I didn't really take network marketing super seriously then. I was just a kid myself. But I remember our company convention was coming up. This was the very first company convention that I ever attended. It was coming up, and
ooh, that's another thing. You'll notice a lot of people who are telling you about the story of when they joined their MLM. It happened around a convention, which is very interesting because in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others that I've heard from, conventions and MLM events that you have to pay to go to, by the way, they are basically just a big event to hype you up, to keep you in the confines of the MLM, if that makes sense. There's really not a whole lot of tangible things that come from these events unless you're going with friends and you're making memories. Like, those things are different. Those are separate from the MLM itself. Going there for the business piece of it, you don't get much out of it unless you're going for the hype and the motivation. You don't get the tangible shit you actually need to be successful in a business, in most cases, and in my opinion.
And my upline, he's like, "Are you going to be there?" I'm like, "I'm poor as hell. There's no way I'm going to get there." And he said something to me that changed I think it just changed the whole direction of how my business was going. He said, "Okay, well, do you want to be a top income earner in this company?" And I said, "Well, of course, right? Who doesn't? Like, why that's what we join, of course." And he said, "Okay, well, all the top income earners are going to be at convention. Why do you think you could have what they have if you don't do what they do?"
That motherfucker, that's what a snake look like, in case you want to know. What a motherfucking demon look like.
And that hit me because it made sense. And I'm like, okay, I still can't afford it. I didn't try to find a solution. I said, I still can't afford it. And I'm a very, give me a challenge and I'm going to do it. So he said to me, he said, okay, I get it. Well, there's two types of people in the world. There are people who are going to make it happen, and there's going to be people who make excuses. I guess I'm going to find out at convention which one you are. And I'm like, I'm not letting him do that.
Ew. You should have ran for the hills. And I'm not a therapist.
You don't say.
But things are making sense now.
So I did whatever I could. I ate peanut butter sandwiches the whole time. I stayed in somebody's bathtub, literally their bathtub, okay, at convention. I carpooled with somebody, a stranger I didn't know, who was also in my state going to convention. So I found a way. And I think that was probably the biggest lesson in my business, was finding a way.
Did you find a way to McDonald's to fill out a job application? The first thing you said was, I'm going to join an MLM. You didn't just walk to the nearest, CVS and fill out a job application. This is where our brains went. We have problems that need to be addressed. The first thing, when you are in a pickle and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make it out financially or what have you, going to fill out job applications for places that are hiring, probably your best first step. Paying to join a business to then also pay to attend an event in hopes that maybe you'll get lucky with this MLM, not the best option. But go off, queen. Apparently it worked for you.
That upline that I had, he did me a huge favor. At first I thought he was a jerk. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, what do you mean? And you're gonna find an excuse. But now looking back at it, that was probably the best thing anyone could have ever done for me, because I found a way. And in network marketing, that's what we do. We find a way, right? We find a way that works.
If anybody ever comes up to you and says, "Do you want to join my business where we find a way?" No, that's a red flag. You should already have the way or an idea of the way. You shouldn't have to keep finding the way.
So I got to that convention, and that is where my life changed. That is when I learned about personal development. That is where I learned about attraction marketing. That's where back then, we just called it law of attraction. We just had it all under the same, the same pillar. But I remember I was at that convention, and I'm going to tell you, I was such a negative person. Like, glass was always half empty. And along comes Debbie Downer. So I was just always used to always having to have my guard up and protecting myself and thinking about the worst case scenario, that I just stood in the back and I was just so grumpy. And I'm just like, yeah, this ain't going to happen for us. And the guy who was talking about personal development, I'm like, totally not believing him even. Like, I'm standing there with my arms crossed and I'm thinking in my head, way at the, the nosebleeds, I'm thinking in my head, this guy's a joke. Like, I can't just read something and all of a sudden my business is going to boom. Like, I was so negative. And the person that was next to me, they also play a huge part of my story. Don't even remember their name, but they play a huge part of my story. They said to me, you aren't participating at all. Cause I was way too cool. When they're like, close your eyes, vision, all the cool stuff, that we do at convention. I was way too cool for that, I thought. And I just sat there watching, and the person next to me, they're like, you're just so negative. Like, participate a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'll participate.
Act like a toddler and participate like you're in an elementary school classroom for circle time.
Circle time?
That is literally what it's like when you go to these events, except they're not playing row, row, row your boat in the background. Also, it sounds more like she should have gone to therapy and not a pharmacy convention.
And I did. And you guys, it allowed me to open myself up to actually hear what the speaker was saying. And it opened my eyes up to my own behavior. It opened my eyes up that this is probably why I'm always stuck. Okay. So I went home and I started working on personal development. That's where my life changed. 1000%. Now, I still didn't learn all my lessons. If it's happened in network marketing, I've done it. Okay. 24 years is a long time, almost 24 years. It's a long time. So a big part of my story, and I want you guys to hear this part, because if this hasn't happened to you, it's going to be someone on your team. And I want you to be aware of it so you can help them. Okay. Because they don't know. I didn't know. So this is kind of embarrassing to even say, but I think I need to say it. I was with like 30 different companies, network marketing companies, like 30. Okay.
Granted, okay, she has had whatever she calls success in pharmacy. She's been with 30 MLMs. She has grown a team from day one, 24 years ago, before social media. She has the following. So for her to sit here and speak to newer pharmacy representatives, it doesn't make sense, because anything she did 2015, hell, even 2 years ago, is not going to apply to anybody today. It's not going to work. She got there by pure luck and timing, in my opinion.
I would join a company, like that very first one when I was just a kid. I would join a company. I would think I was working, mostly busy work, mostly not any work at all. And I wouldn't get the results, right? And I would see someone else, and they would be at a different company, and they looked like they were having so much success. And I would have shiny ball syndrome. Do you guys know what that is?
Shiny ball syndrome. Shiny ball syndrome. I love that she called it shiny ball syndrome instead of shiny object.
I need to grow up.
I kind of like her. Aside from the fact she's shilling MLMs and thinking they're amazing. Just take that part out.
I don't know if you talk about that on your team. You do? Okay. I would have that shiny ball syndrome, and I would quit. And I would make an excuse, and I'd say, oh, you know what? My upline didn't help me. That girl, she can help me. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna have success here. Well, guess what? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I didn't change my actions. I didn't change the way I was working. So again, I didn't have success. And I found something else. Oh, it's the comp plan. It's the comp plan. Our comp plan's not as good, but you know what? This company over here, they have a great comp plan. I'm going to go join that one. And then I would go to that company. Same thing, because until you change your mind, you don't change your check. Until you change your mind, you don't change your circumstance, right? So I'd go to that company, and can you guess it? Same damn thing. And I'd blame something else. Oh, the products are too expensive. Shipping's too much.
It's not a legitimate job. That could be a reason. That could be a reason you're not financially benefiting from an MLM.
They take too long to ship. Whatever the excuse was, I had the excuse, and I would just go to company to company to company.
Oh, look at a puppy.
Until I realized, you know what? That first company, I said my upline sucked, and that was my excuse on why I wasn't doing good. She had people on her team doing really good, okay? We had the same upline. It wasn't her.
We must pause to acknowledge the furry baby in the back. Look how cute.
That next company, I said the comp plan sucked. Guess what? There were people making $1 million a year with that same comp plan. Same one that I had. Comp plan didn't suck. Next one, shipping took too long. Everyone else is selling. No one else is having a problem. It was me. It was me until I realized, sometimes you got to see what's the like in all the problems that you have, what's the common denominator here? And sadly, it was myself. And I knew I wanted to grow. I already learned about working on personal development. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to grow. I'm going to get better. And that's been my quote all like this whole time. If I want my checks to grow, I have to grow. So I invested so much into my own development, all of Eric Worre's classes, any kind of event or mastermind I could get my hands on, any book I can get my hands on.
Eric Worre masterclasses. If you're not familiar with him, he is very much in the MLM space. He goes to events and speaks about MLMs all of the time. He's
a snake in the grass.
In my opinion, it's so annoying, guys. I'm sorry. A very problematic human being. And if he is anybody's go-to for self-development and they tell you, walk out of that room, delete their number from your phone, block them so they don't bug you to join their team. Self-development is great. It's cool, right? And I think there's a healthy level of it. I think we need to be self-developing and improving and doing all the things we need to do to be better as human beings. However, confining that into the MLM space only and only listening to the people within the MLM world is very problematic. It's also problematic when you are equating that to going to therapy. Sometimes it's not self-development that you need, it's real psychological help and therapy. I really think everybody should go to therapy. And that's my takeaway for you today. You may not have gotten paid, but you got some great advice.
Any room I could get in with people who are better than me, that's what I strive for. I want to be around people who are better than me. I want to rub shoulders with them. I want to get a little of their magic on me. I want to see how they interact. I want to see how they present themselves. I want to see how they talk to people, because do what they do, you'll have what they have, right? So I got around some really successful people I had to buy myself in the rooms at first. And that's one great thing we have with Farmasi. We don't have to buy ourselves in rooms. Like, I still think doing, improving yourself with, I really want to start going to the Elaine Cardone events, by the way. You guys are in Miami. I still think those things are important to keep, elevating and meeting new people and networking. But what we have at Farmasi, and even here, look at this call. You guys didn't pay a cent to get on this call.
Except they did. They did. They paid to join Farmasi. And unless they pay to join Farmasi, they don't get to get on these calls. So they did actually pay to be there. And they continue to pay to be there because most MLMs have sales goals that you have to reach in order to stay active. So in most cases, the representatives that join the MLM are the ones that are keeping themselves active by making sure they hit those numbers every month or every 3 months or however often it is. So yes, they had to pay to be there.
We have masterminds. We have those things that I did. So stick with it, right? Stick with it. And I'm just so excited. I might be squirrel. I am ADD girl. Okay. But I just get really excited talking about this. So anyways, I realized it was me, and I said, I'm going to be committed. I'm going to stick it out. This next company that I join, I'm not quitting. I'm going to make it happen. And so I joined that company, and I stayed there for 12 years. You guys, it was the secret sauce. It was the secret sauce. Stay in long enough. Like, that's it. Most people, they're going to quit way too soon. Right when it's about to happen, that's when they seem to give up, right?
Of course, because you want them to be convinced that
success is right around the corner. Don't quit yet. It's coming.
Because if they quit, you lose the income. That's why they're telling you that. They're just giving you hope, which doesn't give you any kind of solidified success that's coming your way.
But I stuck it out in that company. We had highs and we had some low of lows. But we had a lot of highs too. But I stuck it out through all the valleys until they took our comp plan away.
Yeah, funny. They got rid of the comp plan. I wonder why.
You can't really get paid without a comp plan. But I stuck it out. And if they wouldn't have changed that comp plan, I would still be there today. Okay, because I know you stick it out. That's the secret.
And in case you missed it,
You gotta stick it out.
You know, somebody who had no success, 30 different companies. I went on to have, like Brittany said, 500,000 people on my team. We did $1 billion with a B in sales. I made about $8 million. And I tell you that not to impress you, because I'm just a girl from the trailer park. Like that's how I started. You know, when I joined my previous company, I was living in the trailer park. My house that I lived in, I was actually homeless before that. That I was able to borrow $3,000 from a family member that I just met. My husband at the time was adopted, and I just met his birth parents. And I was bold, and I said, can I borrow $3,000? I found a trailer for $3,000, and they gave me the money. They borrowed it to me, and it was horrible, you guys. It was rat infested. It had holes in the wall. It had holes on the floor. You couldn't even go to the bathroom. We had to go on a bucket because the toilet wasn't there. It was really, really bad. And I did let that be an excuse for a minute. And I mean a minute, not very long, because I had to get out of that situation. I was in my closet crying to myself because I didn't know how I was going to feed my kids. But I knew I had network marketing, and I just joined like a week before I joined that company. And I said, I'm going to take this serious. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to burn my ships. It's going to be sink or swim for me over here, and I'm going to make this happen. And I did, and I started getting out of my comfort zone. That's a big thing. I started approaching people who were better than me. I hit up all the realtors in my town. I'm like, if anybody knows people, it's realtors. And I felt really awkward doing that because they were much more successful than me. I was just a girl in a rundown trailer park. Okay. Like I was very intimidated. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very intimidated reaching out to people who I thought were powerful, but I did it anyways, because you want to know what's more uncomfortable than being uncomfortable? Having your kids not be able to eat, not being able to pay your bills. That's more uncomfortable than being a little uncomfortable. So I got uncomfortable. I even went door to door selling mascara. I was in a makeup company. I went door to door selling damn mascara, you guys, because I needed it that bad. So when you want it as bad as you want to breathe, that's how much you have to want this business, as much as you want to breathe. Imagine if we were at the lake. I'm from Minnesota, home of, I thought, what do they say, 10,000 lakes? It's way more than that. But let's say I was holding you underwater. I would never do that. I'm a nice girl. But I was holding you underwater, and you would be fighting. You would be punching. You would be doing everything you can to get your ass up and breathe. You would do everything. You wouldn't care if it was uncomfortable. You wouldn't care about hurting my feelings. You wouldn't care about being embarrassed. You are going to breathe. You are going to breathe no matter what.
It's a multi-level marketing company. Let's relax. It should never be that serious in a multi-level marketing company. And if it is, exit immediately.
And that's what we take into this business, you guys. You have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. That's when you're going to be successful. So that means blocking out any distractions, because there's a lot out there. There's a lot of distractions out there, and it can be anywhere from maybe some stuff that's happening in your personal life, maybe stuff you see on social media. Maybe you see a leader who you follow, maybe she joins another company or whatever it might be, and you get distracted, just like I used to get distracted. Don't let those distractions get you. You need to be so grounded. You need to be so planted. You need to have so much belief. You have to want it for Farmasi, and not just want success more than you want to breathe, success within Farmasi. Okay, that's the secret, because we have to have the vision. You have the vision, you have the reality in your head. It's going to come, it's going to come to life. Every single thing that I have in my life, I started in my mind. I was driving my hoopty 1996 Geo, and I was pretending like that damn thing was a brand new BMW. Okay. In my mind, I'm like, oh, this is what it'd feel like to drive a BMW. And I envisioned it. And I worked towards it. And guess what? I got a BMW the next year. The next year I did, because we make it in our mind, and then we have to want it, and you have to have that childlike belief. You have to have that belief that you are going to make it happen. And it doesn't matter how long. There's the thing too. Most people, they're like, oh, I've been doing this 6 months. I've been doing this a year. I'm still not where I want to be. I've been doing this 2 years. I'm still not where I want to be. It doesn't happen like that. You have to have the belief until, okay? And every time you get distracted, or you go and maybe think, oh, the grass is greener, you're starting over. Why do you keep starting over? That's what I just want to say to people. Not you guys on this call, obviously you're at Farmasi, but people who leave, I'm like, why? I've been through that. Please do not make the same mistakes that I made. We have to be so focused on the goals that you have, the goals that you want. And I know you guys talk about your why a lot. Brittany talked about it on the call she did for my team. I talk about that a lot too, because there's going to be days where you don't want to go live. You don't want to post that reel. You don't want to send out that message. You don't want to show up. Trust me. There's days I just want to rot in bed. I won't be completely transparent with you guys, But my why is so big. I do never want my children to have to live the life that I lived. I never want them to have to know what it's like to go without food or to have to be put into a garbage can. I was so scared. I like a big old dumpster. I was so scared and claustrophobic having to get food out. Like that will never be my children's life. My children live such a comfy life. Okay.
It just boggles my mind that like some people really think the first answer to all hardship is to join an MLM. You can't be that delusional, can you?
You would be surprised.
I'm very proud of that because I broke that cycle. So that my why is big enough where I will feel embarrassed. I will feel awkward. I will feel like if somebody says some mean thing to comment to me, I don't care because my why is bigger than that. So you need to remember that. We need to have the vision. Get those distractions out of the way. It's the devil coming to get us, those distractions. I'm serious, you guys. We need to focus and we need to have vision. That's another thing. We know where we're going, and that's what I love about your leader, Brittany, and some other leaders that I've met through Farmasi that have nothing to do with me.
I remember when I was in multiple different groups of different things, business coaching and MLMs, it was always your why should make you cry. You should be crying about your why. If it's not making you cry, it's not strong enough for why you're doing whatever you're doing. And I don't believe that at all. You can do it. You can be doing something you're doing as a job or as a business, as a career of any kind, just because you like it. I enjoy the fuck out of my job. That's it. There's really no deeper why. It's never going to make anybody cry. Like I wanted to do it, so I did it. And it could be as simple as that. We don't need to dig for a why that makes us cry.
Collaboration. Okay. We are all in this for the same reason. Like everyone on Brittany's team, I don't get paid off you. Everyone on my team, Brittany doesn't get paid off, but we want to see you win because guess what? When one woman wins in Farmasi, it shines a light on it. And then it helps us all win. So I always say one team. I used to say this in my old company too, and I believe it here as well. I'm not Team Sparkle, Team Dream, Team whatever it is. We are one team, Team Farmasi. We have little branches, but ultimately we are one team, Team Farmasi. So we have to stick together. We have to be aligned. Okay. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. And I need you guys to get loud. Okay. No more playing small. You're done with that. Like, leave that in 2025. This is the year of the horse. I don't know if you guys know anything about that. This is the year of the horse, which means we are going fast. Okay. And when we go fast, we're going to be loud. We have so many people out there that we need to save. So many people out there who are in my position, who are in Brittany's position.
If you believe in the whole year of the snake, year of the horse thing, holy shit. Am I right? The time that I'm filming this, it's February 9th. And I am so looking forward to next week because I think it's next week. That's when the year of the horse takes over and the snake can finally fucking leave.
Can I get an amen?
If somebody could take the snake out of our lives immediately. Thank you. Anyway, if you've been feeling the year of the snake and you are ready for the year of the horse, like me, we're almost there.
Who were in, whatever you guys went through, Melissa's position, like people are out there and we need to save them. So if you're scared to talk about the opportunity,
we need to save them. Farmasi is not your life raft, my friend. No MLM is a life raft for anybody. It's not going to save anybody's life or financial situation. You have a better chance of winning at the casino or in lottery. At lottery. You could go play the lottery today. Not encouraging it, but you could, and your chances will be better at getting money than joining Farmasi.
I tell you something, and I say this with love, but you're being so selfish. So selfish. I can't imagine if the person who told me about network marketing never did. Where would I be right now? I would probably be exactly where I was, homeless, with nothing. That's where I would be. I wouldn't have this life I have. My kids.
Ma'am, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You're telling me that after 17, all those years, between 17 and now, almost 40 or 40, you would have never thought maybe I should go get a job? Maybe I should apply to a job? This is the only way you made it out. This bullshit you're serving me is ice cold.
This is cold and the cheese isn't hardly melted down.
I don't want it.
I would never have broken that cycle. My kids would be struggling just like I struggled. Who knows? I bet I would be a grandma right now too. Because when you're in that lifestyle, and you're struggling, it's cycles repeat. My kids are not parents yet.
If she never joined an MLM, the first of 30, she would be homeless and she would also be a grandma.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And one's 24. So you know, it's selfish. That's what it boils down to. So stop thinking about you. Stop thinking about offering the opportunity is about your team or you making money. Because sometimes we get a little, it feels a little weird, you know, once there's compensation tied to it. Think about like when you go to your favorite restaurant, you tell people.
You literally just talked about compensation the entire time, about how this financially saved your life and you were no longer homeless. You made it about money this whole time. We're almost done.
You tell people. When you go and you get a new perfume, you tell people, like you tell your girlfriends. But once there's a compensation tied to it, it feels a little weird. It feels a little weird. That's in your own head. Get over it. It's selfish not to offer. Okay.
It's not in your own head. It's gross to a lot of people, allegedly.
Okay. And how I offer the opportunity is first, there's no copy paste. I mean, you can if you really, really, really need to, but I don't. I say this is real conversations with people. It's not a script. It's real conversation. So I talk to people. I find a lot of people in different groups. I go and I try to meet people all the time. I'm not an extroverted person or whatever it's called. I'm not a people person. I am so introverted. I am so shy. Like if you meet me in person, I'm kind of quiet. I'm a huge introvert. Okay. But I force myself. I force myself because it's my job and I'm not going to be selfish because there's women out there who need this. And if somebody doesn't want it, okay, next. One thing that I heard, oh my gosh, probably 15 years ago, and I've held on to that this entire time is, and it really helped me. So I bet it's going to help you. So when most of us are scared of the rejection, right? We're scared of people saying no. We're scared of looking stupid. We're scared of all of that. The statistic in network marketing actually is most people quit. The average network marketer quits after 10 no's. They're done. They say, this isn't for me. This is uncomfortable. I'm done. So I want you to know that because keep that in mind because don't let it be you. It almost was me. I got my 10 no's and I remember hearing that and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to be that statistic. And I got 1,000 no's, 1,000 in a row. And that was on my way to hitting the very top of the comp plan in my last company. 1,000 no's. It was worth it. $8 million. 1,000 no's was worth it. That rejection don't hurt too bad. I'm going to tell you. But it's not personal. So here's something that I learned. Somebody said to me, and it made a big impact in my life and in my business. So let's say you're out to lunch with a girlfriend.
There's that many people. Like if your ratio of no's to yeses is not balanced or the yeses aren't higher than the no's, then there's probably a business issue. That's when we start to have a business mind where it's like, oh, maybe I should leave. If they got 10 no's and 0 yeses, come on. They had every right to be like, yeah, this isn't for me. 10 no's and 0 yeses. Logistically and realistically, the MLM is not for them. Sales is not for them.
So me and Melissa are out to lunch and I pull out a thing of gum. Let's pretend these peptides are gum. And I say, hey, you want a piece of gum? And Melissa says, oh, no, that's okay. I don't go home and be like, oh my God, she didn't want my gum. I feel so stupid. I am not going to lunch with her again. Like, I feel like an idiot. No, because it's not personal. You know, next time we're out, she might be like, hey, I just had some garlic. You got some gum? And I'm going to give it to her. It's no big deal.
No, it's totally different because here's the thing. There is money involved. There is money involved in the MLM. And the person you're approaching, now they know that they want to turn your relationship into a profitable one. They want to make money off you, and that will turn people off to being friends with you. Why are we not getting this yet? That's why people don't like to approach their friends and family about joining and buying an MLM. Offering a piece of gum is totally different.
And that's how we have to act when we're sharing the opportunity. It's no big deal if they say no. It doesn't matter. It's not personal. We kind of put it on ourselves as it's personal. And I'll tell you 9 times out of 10, when they say no, it's not really no. It's just the timing isn't right in their life at this moment. And that's why we have to never burn the bridge. Okay. Don't be blocking them when they say no. Don't burn the bridge. You keep that conversation rolling. You're just like, oh, okay. Keep the conversation rolling. 9 times out of 10, every single person that said no to me went on to be a pretty big leader within my team. They eventually joined.
Where's the proof?
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots.
Probably because she wouldn't leave them the f alone.
Okay, because they keep watching and just when it fits into their life. So how I ask is I learned this from Eric Worre, and I ask the if I would you. So first I say, you know, this might not even be for you. And Eric did teach me that. He's like, it kind of lets their guard down a little bit. You're not like the, hey girl, check out my network marketing business. No, and this might not even be for you. And this is after I've already talked to them for a little while. Okay, I meet people in homeschooling groups. I meet people in autism groups, dog groups, bunny groups, all of the things that I love.
What we just heard is her admitting that she joins groups for all the things she loves, in part to rope people into her business. I am in many pit bull groups because if you didn't know, I have a pit bull. Her name is Winnie and I love her to death. I am in homeschool mom groups. I'm in all these different groups. I never go in there wanting to interact with somebody that is trying to recruit me for an MLM or trying to sell me a lipstick. I never go in there with those intentions, and nobody in those groups, as far as I know, goes in there with those intentions. They are not there to be sold to. Nobody wants that when they join those groups. It's disgusting when you're in there. You're like little snakes in there. Year of the Snake is gone. You only want horses.
I'm in those groups and I meet people and I ask questions. So first I go into the groups and I do ask questions. Go into some cooking groups. If you love cooking, go into some cooking groups. Ask, hey, what's your best pancake recipe? You don't even have to really want to know about the pancakes. You're just getting people to comment. Getting people to comment. You're making those relationships. You're building. I message people. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You don't even have to care about what they're saying. You just want to plant the seed of yourself so you can then start talking about Farmasi and the opportunity and the mascara that you're wearing and the protein you know how it goes. We've all been there. We've all been there. I've been on both sides.
That sounds so good. I'm going to make it Tuesday. And I'm building those friendships and those relationships. And I'm going to tell you what happened once. You're going to listen more than you talk. First of all, 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. I was in a homeschooling group and I asked that question. Hey, what do you guys use for a curriculum? I'm getting all of these answers. I'm messaging everybody. Oh, what do you like best about that curriculum? Oh, what do you like best about that? My questions were on purpose. I wasn't just asking questions to ask questions. I had a purpose. And then when people would tell me, we'd just start up conversation. I would have all these conversations and I like to write it down. When I'm talking to a lot of people, I like to write it down, a little something about them so I remember. I also see my law of averages, which we're going to talk about in a second. I want you to record your law of averages. But a woman I was talking to, and she told me a Becca. She's like, use a Becca. And that's what my kids use. And then we just got to talking and I asked her, again, very intentional questions. I said, what do you do for a job that you get to be a homeschooling mom? That's really cool. What do you do? And she said, well, I work on the weekends so I can pay for my daughter's dance classes. And I wrote that down. I wrote that down. I'm like, okay. We continued the conversation for another day. And then, people love to vent. And I listen. I'm a listener. That's how I recruit so well. I'm a listener. And she said, Mia, my daughter's just being so naughty today. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? And she said, she's just really upset that I have to work this weekend when she has a dance recital. She doesn't realize I have to work so I can pay for it. Like, I want to be there. And I said to her, this might not even be for you. I have no idea, but I never miss any of my kids' activities.
Ew. If you are having to miss an activity for your child, first of all, I know how devastating that can feel. With my first, I worked a lot of hours. So there was a lot of things that I didn't get to make it to. So I get it. This is never going to be the answer for somebody to quit their job and pay for dance classes in most cases. Okay. Please don't ever think that this is the shiny object that's going to let you stay home with your children for the rest of time, because it absolutely is not. And it probably won't even pay for a snack after dance class, according to statistics. But what do those matter? As long as you got those feelings.
Have you ever thought of doing what I do?
Have you ever thought of doing what I do? It's everywhere, that phrase. It's haunting me. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? Have you? I also want to point out how she probably made that mother feel, that individual feel. First of all, you're building a relationship with this individual and you're listening to everything she's saying with a sales mindset, okay, which is fine because you're a salesperson, but you're acting like you're a true friend and you're just waiting for her to drop that thing like she just dropped so you can come in and swoop in with your business opportunity and see if you can get money from her. And it's gross. This is disgusting behavior. No other business does this that I know of. If you know of any, please let me know so that I can start covering them on my channel.
Then I'm quiet. Don't overtalk. They don't need to know about the comp plan. They don't need to know about the mission. They don't need to know any of that yet. Okay? Are you open for more information? Be quiet. She says yes or no. You know what? She said no. And I said, okay. And I just continued talking, but I had purpose. I wasn't leaving it at that. I knew what I was doing. The next day I messaged her. I said, hey, I was thinking about it. Do you remember when you told me to get a Becca curriculum and why you liked it? And she's like, yeah. I said, that's exactly what I do. I don't try to force people to buy things. I share things that I love and that I'm using, just like you did with me.
She already said no. Like, this is annoying. This is how you lose friends. This is how you lose connections in life. Valuable connections that you could use later in life that don't have anything to do with money.
You did exactly what I do. I think you'd be great at this. Do you think if we put our heads together, we can make it work for you? I was quiet. She signed up. She went on to, we called it blue status, which is about $4,000 a month in volume. And she stayed for about 2 or 3 years, $4,000 a month in volume. I was happy with that. She was happy with that. She was making a little extra income. I helped somebody, right? But that wasn't an automatic no. We listen, and then we solve problems. That's what we do, both with the product and with the opportunity. All we're doing is solving problems for people. Be a problem solver. So that's why we ask questions.
Where are the receipts that these stories are even real? That's what I want to know. How do we know she's telling the truth? How do we know she's not bullshitting her way through this? Because again, this is all dollar signs for her.
I just want to make sure I give you guys all of my stuff. Systems that I use. I use a 3-3-3 method. So I don't know if you guys know Marina Simone. She's a friend of mine. She's a coach here in network marketing, and she created this. So I always like to say that because I'm not stealing anybody's stuff, and she's my friend. So I always give her credit. But she came up with something called the 3-3-3 method, and she has it trademarked. Like she's on hers. But it's something I do every day, and my team does it too. So imagine if you're in somebody's inbox 27 times or in their notifications 27 times. People are going to go and see who you are, right? So every single day I have about 10 people. So for 3 days, I pick 10 people who I would love to work with. Now I pick people who are around the same lifestyle as me, or maybe a little bit not where I am yet, right? Because I have influence with them, and I'm going to go where I have influence. So people who are going through what I'm going through now, or something that I have gone through, I have influence with those people. I'm going to like 3 of their stories every single day. I'm going to comment on 3 of their posts every single day, and I'm going to reply to their story for 3 days straight. And doing that, I'm going to be in their notifications 27 times. They're going to go and click to see who I am.
I don't know if it's just me because I've been in the content creation space for a little while, but when I see a name that I have never seen in my life pop up over and over and over again on my feed, I immediately know they're slimy, and I won't respond to their messages because they will DM me and they'll end up in my request folder. And I know what they're trying to do because they just did exactly what she does. We're more aware of those practices now, right? I just want to make sure. If you're not, most times when people come to your social media and start to spam like, spam comment, spam DM, whatever it is, whether it's the same day, different days, a lot of times they're part of an MLM or a coaching group or some kind of service they want to offer you. And because they looked at your Instagram and saw you'd be a good fit,
what the fuck that mean?
They started doing this. It's business. It's business on social media. And this is a tactic that is old and stale. And I feel like people are very much aware of it and are not falling for it anymore. But let me know, is it something that you've never experienced before? Or is it something that you did experience?
They're going to see my profile picture. They're going to see my bio. They're going to see who I help, what I'm about. They're going to see my content. And normally, I would say probably 90% of the time, they follow me and they do order. So I 3-3-3 every single day. It doesn't take long. I mean, you can even do it on your potty break. Doesn't take long. If you're like me and have toddlers at you every single second, just do it while you're on the potty. Okay? Can you tell I have kids? So I 3-3-3, and then showing up to every single call. It's more important than you think. And I tell my team this too. Show up. Like, that's the secret. You just show up and tell. I already said that to begin the call out. Show up and tell. So get on every single call, participate in the chat, participate in the group. You need to be all in. And you need your audience, your network, to see that you're all in and that you're a team player and that your team is aligned and your team is have a community. You need to show that, okay? Being on calls like that shows it. And I hope you guys, after every single team call with Brittany, I hope you guys are recording on your phone, taking screenshots, putting it in your story, tagging Brittany. It shows community, okay? And you have to be all in. So you guys, I just want to say the vision I have with Farmasi right now, I'm telling you, I've been in this industry a long time. I know every single top leader. They're my friends. I've been doing it with them. They're my peers. And I know every single comp plan out there. I know them all. There's a reason why I'm here. I could go anywhere I wanted. There's a reason I chose Farmasi.
If you know one comp plan, which by the way, they're all confusing as fuck, on purpose. You know them all. They're all the same, just rearranged differently to make you more confused and make it look like it's the best comp plan out there. They're all the fucking same for the most part, allegedly. Do I really even have to say that anymore? I have the disclaimer. It's so annoying.
And I'm going to tell you the reason. Many companies out there, and I'm not ever bashing another company because I love network marketing. Okay. I love network marketing. So I will never bash another company, but many companies out there are really focused more on influencers. And it's great to have influencers. It's great. I have friends that are influencers in this company. They're amazing and they're great leaders too. But most company only care about the influencers. And what I see at Farmasi is we're here for the everyday women and men, but we're here for the everyday people. Most of my people who are having success, they didn't have success in network marketing prior to this, because our price point, our comp plan, everything in this company is set up for somebody who has no followers, who has starting from literally scratch to make it in this company.
Every day in each MLM, at least 10 people say that same thing about their MLM.
And that's why I'm here, because I know your check reflects how many people you're helping. And I know I can help the most people here at Farmasi. So I need you guys to get all in. I need you guys to say, this is it, 2026, this is the year. You need to focus, put those blinders on. Don't worry about what other people are doing. You are grounded in what you're doing. You're stronger than getting distracted, okay? You're stronger than that. And you're going to just do it until. So I talk about focus a lot. So I have a little acronym, okay? So F, follow the vision, not your feelings. Sometimes we get stuck into the trap where we follow our feelings. Follow your vision. Feelings, they change day to day, okay? Same with like motivation. I thought it was so cool, Brittany, that you said you don't believe in motivation on the call, because I say the same thing. I don't believe in motivation. Motivation comes and goes. I believe in discipline. Discipline, doing stuff when you don't want to do it. Okay, you do it anyways. So follow the vision, not your feelings. Feelings change daily. Vision keeps you moving. Okay, we got to keep moving.
No, listen to your feelings. Not all the time, right? But sometimes our feelings are trying to tell us something. We could be feeling uneasy about something because it is the wrong path for us. We can be feeling excited about something because it is the right path for us. If you feel something toward your MLM, if you're currently watching this and you're in an MLM, and you feel something toward it and they're telling you to ignore it, ask yourself why they're telling you to ignore it. Is it something that's telling you maybe you should look into something outside of the MLM that people are telling you to look away from? This is cult-like behavior. This is where the cult-like behavior gets dangerous. When you have a cult-like following, it's not dangerous at all, in my opinion. A cult-like following and cult-like behavior are totally different. And this is cult-like behavior.
O, for obey the process. It is a process and it's not going to be immediate. It's going to take time, especially if we are working with the everyday average woman. It's going to take time for her to get personal development, for her to learn marketing skills, for her to get out of her comfort zone, to build leaders. That's what we're doing here. We're building brand new leaders in the profession. Okay, brand new people like Melissa, who's never done network marketing before. We are building those top income earners. I don't worry about sponsoring top leaders in the profession. I don't worry about that because I know we're creating them. Okay, that's what we're doing, just like you guys are doing on your team. See, commit when it gets uncomfortable. So most people quit right before the breakthrough. As soon as it gets uncomfortable, they're out of here. Don't let that be you. Don't let it be you. S, stand firm when others scatter. And you're going to see this a lot. If you stick in this profession long enough, you're going to see it. It's crazy, but you have to stand firm with your vision, okay? I'm going to end it with the law of averages because I really, this is going to be like a little homework for you. I really want you to start tracking your law of averages. So Jim Rohn does a training on the law of averages. If I had lots of little things add up to the success that I've had, but if I had to pick one thing, it's the law of averages.
Is it the law of averages? How many times are you going to say it before you even explain it to these people?
So kind of like in baseball, there's a law of average, a batting average, right? We have a law of average too. So write down every single person you talk to, and soon you're going to see a pattern. So for me, it was 1 in 100. I talked to 100 people and they all said no.
That's really bad. So for every 100 no's, she gets 1 yes. That's 99% failure. So thank you for proving us right in the anti-MLM community.
100. Okay, I should have quit at 10 statistically, but I'm everyone on this call, we're not normal people.
We call ourselves skinwalkers.
Okay, we're a little crazy. We're a little delulu. You got to be a little delulu to have success. I'm just gonna tell you.
You shouldn't be that delulu, because at that point you're failed. You have a very high fail rate. Your success rate isn't there. And this goes to show you how clueless these individuals actually are about running a business that has to do with sales.
But 100 no's, and then I got a yes.
99% failure rate. You're just airing that out, but thank you.
And so my law of average was 1 in 100. That's really bad. But I knew, okay, if I want to sign 3 people up this month, I need to talk to 300. But what I found out is the more I did it, the better my average got. So soon it went from 1 in 100 to 1 in 75. 1 in 75, it went to 1 in 50. I got it down to 1 in 5, you guys. That's really good. Like 1 in 10 is considered really, really good. I got it down to 1 in 5 because I just did it enough. The more you do something, the better you're going to get. Everything in network marketing is a skill. Nothing's a talent. So every single thing you can learn. I was not somebody that should have been successful. Okay. And I know, Brittany, you share the same story. We're not anybody. If you looked at us in the past, people would be like, no, they are not successful. But guess what? Everything in network marketing is a skill. So you can learn it. You can master it. Nobody's born with it. So start learning it, start mastering it, show up to the calls, have the vision. You guys, we are going places in 2026. We are going places. This is your time. You are done playing small. This is your time. Your family deserves it. You deserve it. So you need to get out there and get a little uncomfortable. You need to get out there and scare yourself a little bit. You want to know what fear stands for? False evidence appearing real. That's what fear stands for. It's not real. The more you do it, the easier it comes. Okay.
No. Sometimes, yes, fear does that. Sometimes anxiety does that. However, fear is a very real human emotion, human feeling. And a lot of times there's a reason it's showing up.
Okay. Like when I first went live, that was scary. I'm not scared of that no more. First time I spoke on stage, it was scary. I ain't scared of that no more. Reaching out to someone, that was scary as hell. I'm not scared of that no more. The more you do it, the better you get at it, you guys. So who's ready? Who's ready for 2026? I need you to be committed. I need you to have those blinders on. I need you to be focused. I need you to have your mission. And you guys, we're going to have an awesome year, like record breaking. So I'm really proud of this team. I'm proud of Brittany. She is like rock star. Like I'm learning so much from you too. And so is my team. So thank you so much for this collab and being the type of leader who has no ego. Your ego is not your amigo. My team hears that a lot. You don't have any ego. And that is why you are so damn successful. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I have like literally a whole thing of notes here, and I'm not really a note taker. So I definitely know I soaked a lot in, and love you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time. It does mean so much. And to me, like, just, I know you're a busy person, so I know we appreciate it. And I will see you soon, at least convention, but maybe before then in person. So
I hope so.
Thanks for collaborating with us. Bye.
Bye, girls.
Oi. Yeah, I think Farmasi is going to have a higher than normal year. And the only reason I believe that is because their pipeline from Sensi to Farmasi is running a bit strong right now. And Sensi is in some turmoil. If you didn't know, if you're new here, I have many videos on Sensi and the downfall that is currently happening, allegedly, in my opinion. But just don't fall for any of these MLMs. Farmasi, Sensi, none of them. Run away. It's a trap. 100 no's for 1 yes. Like, ma'am, you just literally told us you had a 99% fail rate. But all right, go off, queen. Anyway, as always, thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit, and I will see you in the next one.